On this episode of Southpaw Drones, we're going to be taking a look at the UDIRC Petrel. That's this kind of petrel, not this kind of petrel. Just so we're clear.
Look, sunshine. Can you believe it at last? 25 degrees. This morning on Southpaw we have got a TX controller. Yes, alright, that's not the drone. The drone is the U42WH Petrel, and here is the controller. Now, nice stabilised gimbals, they're stabilised, self-centering gimbals. All of these trim buttons here do work, they are full trim buttons. Big power on and off, and everything's labelled really well on this, which is excellent. You've got headless mode, you've got 2 rates of speed, auto takeoff, and then flip button, and then you hit the direction if you want to. Now, in order to bind the aircraft, you turn on the controller and then pull down on the stick, and it will change the light flashing, and then immediately turn on the drone and it will bind itself to the aircraft.
So here it is, the Petrel U42WH. As you can see, a small battery bay at the back. I'll just make that open. You can see it is quite tight in there, but everything fits nicely and the door locks up nicely. There's your FPV transmitter. I would advise you to point that downwards as much as possible. As you can see, it's all vented around the edge here, and there's a camera here. The camera is tiltable. I'm going to put that all the way up. It still seems to be going a little bit down, but we're going to put it all the way up.
Right, pick up. As you can see, it's quite a small aircraft. There's the TX. So what we're going to do, we're going to bind the two. So we turn on the TX, pull down, then we turn on the quadcopter and watch as it magically binds itself. There we go, bound. Alright, so in to start the motors, in and down for both controllers, both sticks. And there she is. Rate 2. Bit of J drone action there. Bamzo. I love J drone. Awesome. Okay. Your rate not really changed. Pretty stable. Let's take it back down to mode 1. And we'll take her out. That is full throttle. Pulling it back a little. I'm going to put her into mode 2. So it comes with 2 3.7 volt 500 milliamp batteries. Flight time is listed as 7 to 8 minutes, but you probably get 9 minutes on a good day on weather like this. You probably get 9 minutes out of the battery. You do get 2 in the pack, which is always nice. That's one of the batteries, a 3.7 volt 500 milliamp, and it comes with this nice little red tab here that allows you to pull it from the aircraft much easier. This little tab here, much easier to pull it from the aircraft without having to use the wires and risk damaging the battery or pulling it
pulling out the aircraft mount. So that is a nice touch.
You have a spare set of props, a set of prop guards, and some spare nuts for attaching the top of the prop guards, just the little balls that sit on the top. You get a spare pack of those as well, which is good. TX takes 4 AA batteries. I'm using rechargeables, but it will take Duracells. Charge time for the batteries is around an hour, hour and 10 minutes, something like that. It seems to be the same on a power bank and on mains charger into the wall, so there's no difference in charge time. The little charger, the USB charger that comes with it, is pretty good. It's effective, seems to be well sturdy. It's not cheap in construction. Now the aircraft weighs around about 130 grams, including that's with the battery in it. Control range on the aircraft is about 100 meters, 80 to 100 meters. FPV is listed as 40 meters, but I think I've already got 60 or 70 meters out of it, so not bad at all. As long as you make sure that aerial is pointing downwards, you increase the signal strength. This comes down very, very slowly, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is a very, very stable aircraft. It's not the fastest aircraft in the world, that's certainly true, but it's a camera platform aircraft. It's not really designed for speed. Oh, there we have LVC.
So, what did I think of the Petrel drone? I was struggling really to find anything wrong with it. It's not great in the wind. It is underpowered perhaps, but it's a beginner drone, so really you don't need too much power. What else have we got? Yeah, the main drawback was the camera. Even at full tilt up, it's pointing at the floor, which I'm sure you've seen from the FPV footage. So that's a downside. But on the plus side, you've got these fantastic props for orientation. You can see exactly where you're going and which way you're facing up to sort of 80-90 meters easily. It's an incredibly stable aircraft. It's smooth, flies really, really safely. It's got 2 rates of speed, which is always handy. Second rate for a bit of a breeze like it is today. What else have we got on the list? Yeah, the controller. Now this is really well labelled. Every button has got an ID on it, so that's a big improvement on a lot of RCs. Well done for that. That's really helpful. What else have we got? 100 meters is pretty good going for a small quad like this. It comes with 2 batteries, which is always useful. The flight time's not bad at all. It's 7 to 9 minutes, even in cold conditions. You'll get 6 or 7 minutes out of it. It gives you an audible alert when you are LVC, when your batteries are running low. That's really helpful to know when to land, because you can't always see LED lights flashing at range, especially. You're not going to see them. So yeah, it's very useful to have an audible alarm. So all in all, I've got to give this at least an 8 out of 10. It's a brilliant little drone, especially if you're looking to get into the hobby. If you're starting to look at drones, this is a really good package. It's only about £45, so it's pretty cheap. Spare parts and blades and etc. You get spare blades with it, but they're available on Amazon. Spare motors if you want to replace those. Larger batteries. You will have to be a bit careful with the battery bay because it is quite small in there. But it is deeper than the standard battery that comes with it. So as long as you get a battery that's merely longer rather than wider, you'd be laughing. I think they do a 1200 milliamp one, which I'm going to look at later, see if I can get hold of one of those. I'll put a link to this in the description down below. Before we go, if you like the video, please remember to hit the like button and share it to your friends, and also hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything from the next episode. I've been Steve for Southpaw Drones. Thanks very much for watching. Fly safe.